Hey, it's the Nerdy Sports Fan! We're into week 3 of the NFL season, and we've got an interesting game here to talk about. Colts are at home as 3-point favorites versus the Falcons. I bet this game. I bet this game. I think Atlanta is going to definitely cover, but they're going to win. All right? They played tough and won against Philly. Philly is viewed by many as a legitimate Super Bowl contender. So, yeah, Atlanta won that game. I get it. Early season, we don't know really what this almost entirely new coaching staff was going to bring to this Atlanta team. But we knew who the talent was on the team. The defensive players, the staff on the team. It really hasn't changed much. So, with Matt Ryan throwing to Julio and Calvin Ridley, and Hooper, Ito Smith, and Devonta Freeman coming out of the backfield, that's a lot of talent still on the offensive side. So, the Colts, they were a team built for a Super Bowl run that just had their quarterback leave. But it was a quarterback situation similar to what Philly had a few years ago, where the backup's not exactly bad. He's just not as good. So, Jacoby Brissett is not a terrible QB. He's not a rookie anymore either. He knows what it takes to win in this league. He's learned underneath quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Andrew Luck, who were proven winners. And yeah, I don't want to bash Brissett. He's just not as good as Andrew Luck was. But the rest of the team was constructed to bring Luck to a damn Super Bowl. So, yeah, I don't see them as a bad team. They've got a solid defense. They've got a very good running game because of one of the best offensive lines in the league. So, I think they're going to give everybody a hard time. Everybody. I think Atlanta's got more top-end talent. And, you have the pick your poison kind of receiving threat of Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. Who you going to double? Because you can't double both of them. So, you're probably going to double Julio all the time because he's still Julio Jones and still the most physically gifted wide receiver in the league. But Calvin Ridley is no slouch. On any other team, he's a number one wide receiver. Okay, the guy is really, really talented. So, yeah, I would say Atlanta wins. I don't see them going away with it. I don't understand why the Colts are favored in this game. It's probably just because they're at home. And Vegas is still a little sketched out by Atlanta. They've not really, shown that they're going to be a consistent winner yet. Okay? They just give them a few weeks. They might put it together. It's going to take a few weeks for the team to really gel in the season. It always does. You got 4 or 5 games at the beginning of the season where teams are still figuring themselves out. So Atlanta, Colts, both of them are still in that phase. The Colts, their running game is putting things together for them. That's probably their identity at this point. And it's going to do well. Fantasy football-wise, start Marlon Mack all day. With that line in front of him, going up against this Atlanta team that's not really shown they can stop preeminent running threats, he's going to have himself a game. T.Y. Hilton is the number one receiver for a team that is going to have a decent offense. So you have to start the dude. But I don't really see anybody else as start worthy from the Colts. As far as Atlanta, you've got your everydays. Julio, Calvin Ridley, you start every single time. Matt Ryan, he's streaky, but the weeks that he does well are usually worth it. So I don't think this is going to be his best game. but he's always worth a start. There's really just not 9 guys that are better fantasy producers out there. So, as opposed to a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers, I'd bench him. But, you're starting him over a Cam Newton. So, yeah, Matt Ryan's a start. And Devontae Freeman and Ito Smith, leave them on the bench. They've not had a consistent running attack. That offensive line is not fixed. So until they can put something together a couple of weeks in a row, avoid that running back room like the plague. Just start the wide receiver options. Hooper is needed. He's probably the 8th to 10th best tight end just because he's in this offense. But a lot of people are likely going to have better options than him. With the emergence of tight ends like Andrews and Hawkinson, tight end got a little bit deeper than we thought it was going to be this year. So Hooper might be riding your bench if you have one of those better options out there. But yeah, Ridley and Jones all day, every week. Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones should be somewhere in your starting lineup because there just aren't that many wide receivers better than either of them. And if you're in a 3 wide receiver league especially, they're definitely every week. So I have Atlanta winning this game, so they're definitely covering the spread. I don't start either defense. They're not worth it, probably ever. But Marlon Mack is going to do well. T.Y. Hilton's going to get his. And, avoid Devontae Freeman like the plague. All right? This is a very good defense, and he didn't show a damn thing last week or the week before, really, that says he's going to be dominant. So there's better running backs out there. He should be riding your bench. And probably 3-4 weeks from now, he's going to be a cut candidate. So that's what I got for this game. Hit me up in the rest of the videos to check out who you should be starting and sitting. And like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, guys.